All right, guys, here I am for Nighters Forge number 5. We're going to be going through some of the top upvoted community feedback ideas from the recent weeks. Jumping right into it. Let's go with the first one. Please do something with 2v2 Aether Rift. No one's playing it ever because of the stronger mobs and longer clear. I'm sure you have the statistics of it, and he misspelled it, and then I missaid it, of it, and why aren't you doing with it anything? I know no one is complaining regarding that because there are 0 players at it. I won't suggest how you increase demand for 2v2. It's up to you. I am sure you are better at it than me, but basically you could just reduce mobs HP, increase rewards, etc. Another possible idea for 2v2 to make auto match making for it, so people would choose whether they want to search partner or jump straight in with random partner. Of course, yeah, resurrect teammate if you win the fight, please. Yeah, so 100%. The resurrect a teammate is of course something that if it was easy to implement, we would have put it in by now, because ultimately it makes 100% sense. There's no reason why we wouldn't implement it. Ultimately, it's not an easy thing to implement because we don't have like a resurrection based mechanic in the game. And whenever it comes to tampering with anything related to dying in the game, we have to be super careful to not introduce really huge abuses there. And so that's why it's been something that we haven't done just yet, because the amount of time to go into it just hasn't made sense with how many other things that we know are very important and requested by the community. Ultimately, I think with Aether Rifts, with the introduction of Arena, with it having 2v2, I think it's a much more interesting area, and I don't even know if 2v2 Aether Rifts make a ton of sense after that, because ultimately I think that's why people go into 2v2 Aether Rifts. It's not to kill those mobs with a friend, it's for a 2v2 fight. And I think this is where Arena fills a really cool spot, because it's essentially just putting you guys right into the action on the 2v2 side. And it is really tricky to balance 2v2 Aether Rifts, because yes, we can increase the rewards, but then 1v1 Aether Rifts have a thread the next week saying, hey, everyone's doing 2v2 Aether Rifts because the rewards are better, or because the mobs die really fast. There's not really like a great spot there when they kind of are both with the same intention of a system. So I think that's where Arena is very interesting, and it might almost make sense to not even have 2v2 Aether Rift after that and focus more on the 1v1 there. Not saying that that's what we're going to do. I'm just saying that Arena fills that void really well, and we'll continue to evaluate from there. But ultimately what you're looking for, Arena is going to deliver with treasures below with that. So look forward to that. And yeah, hopping into the next one. Level 78, 800k silver or 20 million EXP. How can people do, and by the way, sorry about debt, do any demanding content in this game? Let's say we focus, let's say we have cool bosses in future that people need to learn mechanics until they can do everything perfectly and kill it. How insane would need to be reward to even make this worth trying? It is too much. Yeah, absolutely agreed. We were actually fully redoing the death system into a durability system. This was something recommended by the community. The scope of that increased a lot because there are so many ifs, ands, and buts that we uncovered during the development of that. And so ultimately it didn't make sense to have in the current scope for like the immediate future here. So what we're going to be doing is we're just going to be reducing the death debt at those higher levels, because it is simply too high. I think having a death debt is good, because I miss the days when MMOs you were like scared to die, right? Like there was like that adrenaline of like, oh, I don't want to die, I don't want to die. I really hate that in modern MMOs where you just like run in and die and you're like whatever. However, I think like when it comes to future bosses and content design, I think there's an easy way to just avoid that in terms of like making, like we do on Plunder, like a reduced death debt or something. A good example is with expeditions. You won't lose silver or EXP if you die in them, right? And so just like with rifts, right? And so when you talk about like doing like raids or something like that, or really hard bosses, I think that's kind of the route that we would explore there. But I do think having a silver cost that you're like, oh shoot, I really don't want to die is also beneficial. But I also, to be clear, agree that it is too high. It's very punishing, and yeah, we will definitely make adjustments there. Hey, RavenQuest team, after each GVG war, I think it would be really awesome if the overall results were announced in official channels, especially here on Discord. A summary of which guilds dominated, standout performance, or even fun stats we really add to the hype. Not only would this recognize players' efforts, but I believe it would also boost engagement and community excitement around GVG events. People love seeing the outcome of their hard work and rivalry pay out officially. Thanks for all the effort you already put in the game and wanted to share this feedback to keep building the momentum. After GVG, oh yeah, so it's just a recap of that. 100%. I think like building out an automated system of this for Discord would take a little bit of time to fetch that from the game every time. But I'm going to share right away here with the CMs, because I think something really cool that we could start doing is like a weekly recap. So we can just manually do that, make a graphic format and update some of the results, and they can just fetch that on their side. And building out something automated later would be really cool. And also something in game that would also share that in a more featuring way, I think would be very cool. And that's something we want to do for Arena as well. So yeah, I really appreciate you sharing that. And I think that's kind of the intention with leaderboards and stuff, is to bring that attention and recognition. And I think we can definitely do more of that and build that out bigger. So I'm going to chat with the team right away here and yeah, build that out. Sweet. So 3 quick ones today. I appreciate you guys joining here for Nighters Forge number 5. This I think is going to be the quickest one we've ever done. Maybe saving up time now for the next one that's really big. I'm trying to like bank some minutes with you guys, because usually I just go on forever. But it's nice to deliver a quicker one for you guys every once in a while as well. But stay tuned. Next week we will have Nighters Forge number 6. As usual, please feel free to share your recommendations, your input, your design ideas in the forum in our Discord. If they get upvoted enough, we will cover them in a Nighters Forge. Thanks, guys.